This early morning, let's unlock the true essence of meditation through experience. There are so many examples of things that, although we can perceive them with ease, describing them remains forever elusive. Can you describe the scent of your lover's musk? Can you describe the taste of your favorite dessert? Can you describe the sight of your most memorable sunset? And yes, we can receive instructions, and some can be helpful. We can receive meditation instructions, and if we are fortunate, our teacher will be less rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel than they are flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. But the teacher will not be able to give us a shortcut to the actual results. They might try to explain them, but we have to be experienced firsthand. Now, I'm not trying to deceive you like Morpheus in the first Matrix movie, who coerced you to leave the safety of your pod before revealing to you the ugly truth of the Matrix. I'm just saying that there is no end run around the actual practice. But what is the actual practice? To capture the neurological potential latent with every inhalation, where we access the sympathetic nervous system, which evolved not for active concentration, but for mere perception that was in fact vulnerable, passive, visceral, and random. What is the price? What is the reward we get for practicing the courage to be vulnerable before the grotesqueries of all that could bubble up in the present moment, whether the present moment presents as a sight, a sound, a sensation, a flavor, a scent, or the like, or as an emotion, an intention, a thought, a memory, or an imagining. What is the reward? The reward is that as we exhale and automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, at last, our mind can release as our body relaxes. And physical relaxation is exactly what this parasympathetic nervous system is all about. Now that may sound all very well and good, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's actually practice. And we will do that in a moment. But first, let's pause for less than 2 minutes of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you who support this channel on Patreon. If you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as General Leia Organa on Ajahn Kloss under the guidance of Luke Skywalker, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any point during this early morning's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Together, let's chant the, what's it called? The early morning, the Saturday morning excerpt from the final meditation manual of Dza Paltrul Rinpoche, a great Tibetan saint lauded by the 14th Dalai Lama. Together. Conceptualizing speech and sound is what causes delusion. If you recognize it as not graspable as a chanted mantra, resounding yet as not graspable as a vast empty void, it is like Avalokiteshvara of light. It is none other than as not graspable as a sublime lion's roar. In the recognition of sound is not graspable as mantra rasatha six-syllable mantra. One moment, I must pause to blow my nose. Rigidly clinging to mind's perceptions as true as the delusion that causes stressful samsara. If you leave your mind in its natural state, free from the tyranny of thoughts, it is as not graspable as the archetype generic comprised only of light. It is none other than as not graspable as the sublime unwinding and ultimate mind. Yes, remember, this is the key to meditation, relaxing in harmony with each exhalation. In ultimate mind, the mastery of awareness and letting go, that is the Dharmakaya Rasartha six-syllable mantra. Everything that exists is as ungraspable as the primordially pure continuum of the Dharmakaya. If you mean the Dharmakaya's mastery of awareness and letting go face to face, it is as non-graspable as the archetype of kind gaze comprised only of light. It is none other than as beneficial as the sublime sovereign of the universe. In the all-continuum of the all-pervading purity of awareness and release resartha six-syllable mantra. One archetype generic embodies all mantras. One mantra, the six syllables, embodies all mantras. One dharma bodhicitta, wishing love, active love, mindfulness, and letting go, embodies all practices of the creation and completion stages. Knowing the one which liberates will recite the six-syllable mantra. What use is all you have done being so busy just causes yang-oriented samsara. Look how meaningless all you have done has been. Now you had better just stop trying to do anything. That's right. Instead of trying, instead of working from effort, instead of working from agenda, flow effortlessly from love's centered spontaneity. Allow, and thus we can allow our choices and utterances and deeds to flow like leaves upon a stream. The stream, once again, of love's centered spontaneity. The ultimate expedient means. Dropping all contrived and scattered activities, rasartha six-syllable mantra. If you've just joined me, welcome aboard. Please remember that the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. What use is all you have to do is all just pointless prattle. Look how much irrelevant turmoil it has brought. Now you had better just keep silent. Ceasing completely to distractively speak rasartha six-syllable mantra. Okay, so next on the agenda, we're turning to a classic practice text, or sadhana, if you fancy. This was composed many centuries ago by the great Tibetan saint Teng Tong Gyalpo. It's commonly known as all-pervading benefit of beings, the recitation and meditation of the Great Compassionate One. It was translated by Bokar Rinpoche into French and Christian Boucher into English. It was adapted and amplified by yours truly. I say this not to boast, but just because I do not wish to deceive you. Let's begin by exercising the neural pathways responsible for empathy and enthusiasm. Please chant with me. May I free all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I free all beings by relying on the three jewels. One moment, I prefer a different version of this. Please bear with me. Quick like a bunny. Come on, machine, don't be that way. Un, deux, trois. Okay. Let's hit copy, and let's hit close. Let's go over here, hit reveal, and do the old cut and paste. And paste, and copy again, and cut. Well, that's lame. Aha. The culprit has been found. Okay, take two. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate and craving and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Whoops, that was not as intended. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Above myself. So we now are going to contemplate the iconography of the archetype of enlightened wisdom. Enlightened compassion. Why do we do this? We do this because all vertebrate life forms on this planet have evolved to think symbolically. Therefore, figurative speech, although sometimes clunky, is magnitudes of order more effective than merely literal instruction. So let's chant. And by the way, if you've just joined me, buenos dias, welcome aboard. When you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or their application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Let's chant. Above myself and all beings of the universe, a white lotus and moon disk. Well, that's weird. On them the syllable tree from which appears a noble chin raising his clear and white body amidst 5 colored rays. He smiles and looks upon us with compassion. Of his 4 hands the inner 2 are joined. Un momento. And let's continue. Of the outer to the right holds a crystal mala, and the left a white lotus. Garments and jewels adorn him, a disc and a flat covers his shoulder. To his back an immaculate moon disk he gathers the essence of all refuges. He sits in the Vajra posture, the Buddha of limitless light crowns his head. So this is a fun thing we can do. I consider that one of my students coined the phrase enlightened fitness. So this is fun to recite while performing a geriatric step back squat thrusts. And if you wish, you may join me in doing this right now, although it is purely optional. But I'm going to do it because that's how I roll. Here we go. Woo! Okay. Come on. I've got to go backwards. Now I'm going to show you my tajas. Okay. Lord white in color, unstained by fonts, a perfect Buddha adorning your crown. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Chin raising, we bow to you. Lord white in color, unstained by fonts, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Chin raising, we bow to you. Lord white in color, unstained by fonts, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Chin raising, we bow to you. Oi! Got to make the picture look pretty. We do that by aligning the tanka, not because of this thing. Okay. Not because of boo-boo face. The first time I heard the phrase boo-boo phrase, it was from this fabulous convenience store employee. And being a sapiosexual, being enchanted by mind and heart, that made me have a crush on her. Her humor. I tell you, my fatal flaw is I can be seduced by laughter. I've had some villains loft me into bed, but that's in a tale for another time. Looking for the right button, and now let's continue. After reciting without distraction the body of the noble Chenrezig emits light that dissipates our experiences of comically pure appearances competition. Comically impure appearances competition and erroneous understandings clinging. In other words, man, this is dog eat dog world. Wrong. It's about numero uno. Double wrong. May the outer world become as fortunate as a pure land of bliss. With each inhalation, may the body, speech, and mind of beings become as healthy, laughing, and wise as the body, speech, and mind of the archetype Lord Chenrezig. With each exhalation, may appearances, sensations, sounds, and cognitions feel as non-graspable as if they were united in emptiness. So we begin with Tokal's loving leapfrog over our competitive tendencies, which are obstructions to omniscience. Omniscience is just a poetic way of saying enlightenment. And enlightenment is just a fun way of saying mastery of the Buddha's path. Walking the path is liberation. Mastering the path is enlightenment. Mastering the path does not mean we no longer experience the full spectrum of human emotions. What it means is that we're able to apply the Buddha's techniques spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. So this is warm water, my beverage of choice during class. When I was a little boy and my grandmother and grandfather would come over to play bridge with my parents, I learned the hard way that not all clear fluid is water or 7-Up. Sometimes it's vodka. May each mind or Chitta be as wise as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite Buddha wisdom for each mind. Whoop! What's going on here? Let's close this bad boy. Okay. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Some people sing the mantra, some people whisper the mantra, but neuroscience has taught us that intoning the final consonant M can have a profound effect upon our vagus nerve. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme May all relationships, communication, or speech be as loving as a real or imagined Buddha's voice and balanced by a full or Maha Mantra. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Om Mani Padme May each body offer me as healthy as a real or imagined form or rupa of an enlightened archetypal yidam such as kind gaze. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Exercising our, loving intention is what the second fold of the Eightfold Path is all about. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme May all circumstances or lots be as full of good fortune or turn as for real or imagined Buddha's paradise, pure land or Vanti. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Ting Tong Gyalpo's ancient instructions read, while meditating upon the meaning of take this. While meditating upon the meaning of this, recite the mantra as much as you can, which is exactly what we're doing right now. We're going to continue doing this as we practice Tokal's insightful leapfrog over our clinging tendencies, which are also an obstruction to the enlightenment nicknamed omniscience. How could each mind or Jita feel as not graspable or void, as a Buddha's real or imagined mind comprised only of light? So when we say clear, we mean lucid. What do we mean by lucid? Because mind is able to perceive sight, sound, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. Because mind is able to emote, intend, reason, recall, and imagine. That is what we mean by lucidity. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. But what do we mean by, oopsie, wrong button. What do we mean by void? Void is a metaphor. For when we breathe in, we might perceive our minds, but when we relax into our exhalation, these exact same minds could feel as if they were as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. So, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the hand? Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Remember, the key to viscerally letting go is to physically relax into the intonation of the mantra as best we can. Om Mani Padme Hum. Un momento while I play with climate control. How could all relationships, communication, or speech sound as non-graspable or void? As a real or imagined Buddha is full of Maha Mantra comprised only of light. One moment, I want to check an editing opportunity. Okay. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So here's a quick pro tip. The phrase clear yet void, or heard yet void, or felt yet void, or seen yet void is an homage to the Madhyamaka philosophy of the South Indian philosopher Nagarjuna, who taught us to reconcile the two truths of perception and realization. Or I should say perception and realization. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. How could each body form or room avail as non-graspable or void? As a real or imagined octuple udum such as gaze comprised only of light. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 How could each circumstance or lot look as non-graspable or void? As a real or imagined Buddha's paradise, pure land or vati comprised only of light. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 We continue with the author's instructions. Although without conceptualizing the three spheres of actor, action, and recipient rest evenly in your own nature. How do you do that? Simple. How do we practice mindfulness and meditation are known by many names such as Zen, Chan, Dhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasandhi, Hatha Yoga, Dzogchen, and Trekcho. But how do we practice them? Simple. The key to practicing mindfulness is not to actively concentrate during each inhalation, but instead to merely perceive. And how to perceive? Vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. The easiest way to actively practice this is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. What are we to do with all the sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, as well as emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings that we perceive during each in-breath? Well, we are to meditate upon them, of course, and how do we do that? During each exhalation, we are to mentally release by physically relaxing in harmony, once again, with our out-breath. So to facilitate this, we silently and mentally recite the noun void with each exhalation. As we breathe in, this, as we breathe out, void, and thus we perceive and relax the essence of mindfulness and meditation. Come, let us practice together right now. If you've just joined me, welcome aboard. If you have any questions about Buddhist any specific questions about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Let us seal our meditation with a bit of the old loving chanting. May my body and others' bodies be as healthy as the body of Chinrazy. May all sounds be as loving as a six-syllable melody. And may all mental activity be like the domain of great wisdom. By the virtue of this practice, may I quickly master Chenrezig's enlightenment. Then establish in this state the totality of beings. By the merit of this meditation and recitation, may I and those related to me through intention, as soon as we leave our impure bodies, be miraculously born in Sukhavati, immediately traverse certain bodhisattva bhumis, and through emanations benefit all beings in the 10 directions. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's mid-morning lesson and meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.